So now let's try to understand the cause of earthquake. Collision of earth plates cause earthquake. Now, how exactly the plates can collide? See, there are many different ways in which plates can collide, and they can have different consequences. So, different type of plate boundaries are formed due to relative movement of earth plates. Now, we will look at the various ways by which two types of plates can collide. So the first way is let us suppose this is plate A1, this is plate 1 and this is plate 2. So this is the way that is possible. The way that is possible is that these two plates separate away from each other. So when the plates slide apart from each other, this type of plate boundary is known as divergent plate boundary. The word divergent means was something which starts from one point and then diverges off, then separate out. So here also the two plates are separating away from each other. So in this case, what will happen when two plates are spreading out? This can lead to the formation of new ocean basin. So here the space that is created between these two plates can lead to the formation of new ocean basin, and this basin can expand and finally the plate area can increase, resulting in shallow earthquakes. Not very deep, but shallow earthquakes can happen as a result of divergent plate boundary. Why are these called plate boundaries? Because you will see in all these collisions between the plates, the boundaries are the mostly impacted. So whenever two plates collide, so whatever is formed, that is called plate boundary. And these are there are different types of plate boundaries. Now the next type that happens is the convergent type. So here it's just going to be the opposite of divergent plate boundary. Here in the divergent plate boundary, you saw the two plates diverge away from each other and results in the construction of in the formation of ocean basin. Now here the two plates, they will slide, they will come and strike each other. So when plates slide towards each other, that is called a convergent plate boundary. So in this case, it results in the closure of ocean basin, because you see what happened in this case. Initially, some water body would have existed here like this. Some water body would have existed here, but due to this type of collision, what happens? It leads to the closure of that ocean basin. So it can occur at the continent to continent boundaries. So now, when two continents are separated by an ocean, um, separated by an ocean basin. So if there this kind of collision takes place, then it can result in closure of ocean basins, and this can result in intense earthquakes. So this type of plate boundary is destructive one, because this can cause lot of destruction. And you saw the ocean basin has been closed here, but this divergent plate boundary, that is a kind of a constructive one, because here this results in the formation of an ocean basin, so it results in the construction of something, but in this case it leads to the destruction of ocean basin. So this is the constructive type, and this is the destructive type. Okay. And what happens in this? Due to this type of collision, earthquake results are severe, they are in fact intense. Now the third type of plate boundary is the transform boundary. So what happens in transform boundary is the plates neither come close nor they go away from each other, they just slide past each other. Their boundaries just try to strike against each other. So here nothing gets created, nothing gets destroyed, but this can result in strong earthquakes because the boundaries are actually passing over each other. So they are actually striking very hard with each other. So this can actually result in sudden shaking of earth, because earth plates are forming crust. So when they are moving so hard, So it's definitely going to cause a lot of movement of the earth. So this can result in strong earthquakes. So these are three important types of plate boundaries which are formed due to movement of plates with respect to each other. Now that you have understood what causes earthquake, so can you tell, just looking at this entire picture of earth, which areas do you think are going to suffer or are going to be more prone to earthquakes? Definitely the areas exactly at the plate boundaries, right? Because if you see, just consider any two plates here. Suppose, if suppose these two plates, they collide, they tend to collide. So the maximum impact will be at their boundaries. Similarly, if these two plates collide with each other, the maximum impact will be along this boundary, this black outline, right? So the plate boundaries are more areas which are more likely to get impacted by earthquakes, because it might happen that this plate collided, but the central part of plates might not get that much impacted, but the boundaries are definitely going to get impacted. So the boundaries are going to feel the shake all the more, right? So if you look at the places that are located at the plate boundaries, they are more prone to earthquakes. So plate boundaries are more prone to earthquakes. So if you look at the Indian plate, let's look at India. So if you look at this plate, Indian plate and the Eurasian plate, so this is the plate boundary here, right? And now what do you think, which are the places that are located near the plate boundary? If you it's here, like it's here J&K, and here somewhere where here it's Himalayas, and here are the north portion, right? um, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand. So these are the states which are going to be more impacted in India. So in India, which are the places that are going to which are the places that are going to be more impacted? Northeast states, J&K, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand. So most of these places are located towards the northern half of the country. So these are some of the places which will be more prone to earthquakes. In fact, if you look at the location of countries like Nepal, their location is such that they are very close to plate boundaries. So that is why the chances of earthquake in those areas are more. So now we have had got an idea about which areas are more prone to earthquakes. Some special precautions can be taken in those areas so that they can handle the earthquakes in little better way. So the areas which are more prone to earthquakes are known as weak zones or fault zones or seismic zones. So in every country, the fault zones, seismic zones are identified, and some preventions are taken so that earthquakes cannot cause a lot of harm. Thank you.